Hey, what's up everybody? Greg here from Greg Cook Photography. Well, I'm out here this Sunday afternoon, and as you can see, got a couple of little figs here set up. We're going to do a little fig photography. The figs I'm actually using are from the Prometheus wave. Let me do a little introduction here. So from left to right, we have the Elizabeth Shaw, Sean Fifield, Linda Vickers. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to do some basically individual shots, sort of almost like body shots. I've got a very neutral gray and sort of a white grayish background here. I think this will work good with the colors of the uniforms, and we'll just see what we can come up with. All right, so once again, I'm using my Canon 7D Mark II 24 to 70 L series lens 2.8, and I'm gonna do a couple little test shots, figure out if my settings are right, and we'll go from there, and I'll share the settings with you. All right, so we're pretty much spot on. I'm gonna make one small little adjustment on my focus point. All right, so based on what I'm seeing here, I'll show you this shot. You won't be able to see it that great in the camera, but I'll definitely post some photos within the vid. So right now, I am actually shooting at 1/400th of a second with an aperture of 4.0 and an ISO of 320. That seems to work out pretty good for this. So let's do the other ones. Going to go for the Fifield character next. All right. That turned out really good. And move over here to Elizabeth Shaw and trying to get down towards the eye level of the fig you're working with. Get it in focus. All right, so you might ask yourself, you might not, but as you notice, I have all three of these pretty much staggered, straight line, a little bit off here and there. Typically, this is the way I'll set up my 6-inch figs if I have multiple figs. This way I can go from left to right or right to left, grab the composition of the body shot, the shutter speed, aperture, ISO, everything will remain consistent. This will save you a lot of time and trouble. If I'd moved this one here, then the settings would have been different, and I've been constantly having to make setting changes. So for now, I'm gonna move the Elizabeth Shaw one out, and I want to do a little bit of a depth of field photo right now. So we're gonna set this character up basically in a straight line. Now, from my perspective on the camera, we got a couple of options here. Option number one is the Fifield character, putting it in focus, which will blur out the Linda Vickers fig. Option two is put Linda Vickers fig in focus and blur out the Fifield fig. Let's see what we can do. I can already tell right now that I need to move the Vickers fig a little bit more. So let's make sure and get her to where she can stand up. Come in and focus. Take a couple of shots. Readjust me. All right. So we got a couple, like I said, I'll show you the befores and afters, but this is with the Vickers fig out of focus, Fifield in focus, and this is with the Vickers fig in focus, 5 field out of focus. And I'll make sure and post these in the video as well, just to give you a little bit of an idea. But so yeah, that's sort of what we're doing right now. I'm going to sort of take a step back, see what I can come up with, and be back here in a little bit. Hey guys, I'm back. So I've done a little bit of recomposing of what I'm wanting to do. This particular shot as Miss Vickers falls over. That's part of it, guys. Especially with these any of these figs. Wind or anything can really disrupt them at any given moment. So this is something you got to deal with. So the shot I'm going to do for this one is I want to shoot the Elizabeth Shaw fig, blur out the Vickers fig in the background. Once I get her to actually stand up a little bit and be a little bit more proud. So I'm going to focus on Shaw, which will blur out the Vickers fig. Let's take the shot. Very nice. So that worked out good. While I have them in this particular position, I think I'm going to show you a little bit of how these figs look close up. So let me get the camera readjusted, and we'll be back, and I'll show you what they look like up close. Be back in a minute. All right, guys, I'm back. So as you can see right here, we have Elizabeth Shaw in the front, the Sean Fifield to the left, and the Linda Vickers to the right. So let's start with Fifield, and we'll move around. The Fifield character, as you can tell, the uniform is actually different than the Vickers or the Shaw uniform. That's if you've watched the movie, you'll understand it. Get a little bit of a close-up on the face. There's lots of detail here. And let's just move on down to the uniform. So there's a lot of good things you can do from a photography point of view with this fig, as well as the others. Coming over to the Elizabeth Shaw, helmet, axe is the only accessories. The helmets are removable. The Fifield helmet is a little hard to get on, so it will probably never come off again. But moving in a little bit to see the Shaw, as you can see, lots of good detail. There's a lot of good color with these figs. And moving over to the Vickers, she comes with the flamethrower and a removable helmet as well. And you can see there's lots of good detail in this fig as well. So you can do a lot of things with this. Now, like I said, I chose this location just because, number one, I'm not really looking for a particular thing right now. I just wanted some neutral colors to sort of highlight and accent the colors in the uniforms. So let's get some more shots, and I'll come back to you here in a minute. Hey guys, all right, so I've done some more shots. Again, this was a very specific thing that I was looking at doing. I might actually bring out another couple of figs or so. I actually got a new Predator fig. I took some shots of him this morning, actually at the river. Sand, water, rocks, so I'm really curious. I might throw a photo of that in there as well towards the end of the vid. But yeah, so this little series that I'm doing, it's just about getting out and having fun. You don't need a lot of stuff to get out and just enjoy photography. You can do it with an expensive DSLR. Just to give you an example, everybody has their phone with them. So let me show you something real quick. So this is iPhone 7 Plus, which has the portrait mode. Let's see what I can come up with in the portrait mode for this particular Elizabeth, or the Vickers. Let's see what we got here. Right here. I know you can't really tell it, but iPhone. You can actually do a lot with very little. I'm very fortunate, the fact that I've been a photographer for over a decade now. I have the gear to do the things that I love to do along with these type of action figures. I really do hope you enjoy this. As I start doing more and more of these videos, we'll get a little bit more in depth. We'll get a little bit more, you know, on things and creativity and composition and things like that. But I just wanted to bring you guys along for this little journey that I'm doing. I actually have a fig. His name is Simon Russell. He was the first fig I actually bought, and it's a photography fig. He is actually a photographer. And that's where all this started. I might actually do a little bit and show you guys him as well in future videos. But for right now, we'll get back to shooting some photography. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll do this again another day.